Let us be clear, there is no biblical justification for genocide. There is no divine mandate for ethnic cleansing, apartheid wars, or starving children. The Zionist regime hijacks sacred texts to validate its inhumane policies, trying to paint the colonizer as the victim and the resistance fighter as the terrorist. This is theological deception, an insult not only to Palestinians, but to the true teachings of Christianity, which preach justice, mercy, and liberation for the oppressed.
To our fellow sisters in Palestine, what is her shoe size? What is her dress or jacket size? For a brief moment, right now, I want to just wear her shoes. Maybe she's a 7 or an 8 like me. Maybe she's a 14 or 16 like me. I'm going to attempt to wear her shoes right now. I can't claim to know what she's going through right now because I really don't. I can only imagine what she is going through, only because I have 3 children of my own. The pain of your child being snatched from you, the dreams and bright future you had in mind for those children, the promise and potential they showed with every word that they spoke. Just as I think of that, I can only but imagine what that one Palestinian woman is going through as her child is being killed or as a child is being snatched from her. The pain that I feel just imagining is very heavy. Your Excellency, we stand in solidarity with you. And we believe that one day all this will come to an end, particularly the pain. And every Palestinian woman will not live in fear. We stand with you in support of the women and children. Thank you.
Distinguished guests and all protocols observed. On this solemn occasion, we acknowledge the ongoing struggles of the people of Palestine. As women of World Day of Prayer Zimbabwe, we are on solidarity with those who are suffering. And we are saying no to displacement, no to genocide, and no to another Nakba. We pray for justice, peace, and freedom for all. May our voices be heard, and may our prayers bring comfort and hope to those affected. Thank you.
Thank you on this day. Our message is clear. We will continue to stand with the people of Palestine. We mourn those that have been killed in Gaza. We are calling upon the international community to respect international law and stop the carnage. We oppose the further occupation and apartheid in Gaza. We oppose Israeli plan to invade Gaza and annex it. We will stand against it together with the people of Palestine. May I say in conclusion, two wrongs cannot make a right. Why should Palestine pay for the evils of Europe that caused the Holocaust? We no longer can think of a two-state solution. Let it go in history that we will liberate Palestine, because there can never be justice in the world if the people of Palestine are not free. I thank you.
For your attendance today in this occasion that actually remind us of the Palestinian catastrophe when the foreigners or foreign group or foreign immigrants who actually came to Palestine escaping from discrimination, racism, and torture, mainly from Europe. When they came to Palestine, we received them. We received the Jews as guests. But within a few years, they started to build their small complexes and compounds and to invest in our country. We help them as visitors or as guests. But when the British occupation started in 1917 in Palestine, they made coalition with the British occupation and they started to work against us and to behave as occupier. After 30 years, in 1947, the Jewish minority, as one of the results of the Holocaust in the Second World War, and after 2 years of the end of the Second World War, after 2 years of the establishment of the United Nations, they achieved, in cooperation with the colonial powers, mainly Britain, they achieved the resolution 181 that issued in 29th of November 1947, and they got a United Nations resolution to establish their own country in a part or more than half of historical Palestine. No one consulted with us and no one take our opinion. Just they want us to pay exactly the price of the Holocaust crime. And put in your mind that this Holocaust, it happened in the European theater by mainly European fighters. But we paid the price at the end of the day. Anyway, this just small introduction about the Palestinian Nakba or catastrophe when they dismissed in 1948 after less than 6 months of that resolution. In the 29th of November 1947, they dismissed and displaced more than half of the Palestinian people. Nowadays, we are 14 millions, 7 millions inside historical Palestine and 7 millions outside Palestine in diaspora. But let's speak about Israel a little bit. Israel actually, it's a combination, it's a colonial power, and it was created as a colonial base in the Middle East to divide Africa and Asia, because Palestine actually connect Asia and Africa, and Palestine actually connect the west of the Arab world and the east of the Arab world, and Palestine actually is the heart of the Islamic world. Palestine in very great geographical position, but also it's very spiritual and religious place for all Muslims and Christians, and it's the Holy Land or the birthplace of Jesus. For these reasons, they want to create a colonial base in Palestine, and they created Israel. Israel actually it is not normal country. Israel, you know that how nowadays how they behave above the international law, the international community, because they are well protected from all the colonial powers. But we can mention small facts. Israel population, they came from 120 countries. So imagine when you collect your citizens from 120 countries, they speak 80 languages, 80 languages, and they came from 78 nations. This strange combination give us the current result of Israel. They failed to integrate, and they found the only way to prove their loyalty, I'm talking about the politicians, just how to be or how to behave extremists in the most extremist way. This is what we see, and for this reason we have the genocide for month 19 now. I will not speak too much about Gaza, but I can say that Israel dropped in Gaza Strip more than 100,000 tons of bombs, which actually means that 7 times more than Hiroshima nuclear bomb, because the Hiroshima nuclear bomb was only 13,000 tons. Israel destroyed everything in Gaza Strip, the hospitals, and today, just in the last hour, the Gaza European Hospital announced that it's out of the Ministry of Health announced Gaza European Hospital out of service after the Israeli military attack the last 2 days. And in the last hour, Israel killed another journalist. So now we have 216 journalists who were killed by the Israeli apartheid occupation. And in the last 1 hour, Israel added a new family or deleted a new family in Khan Yunis city from the civil record. We should understand that the Israeli apartheid occupation tried to prove that they have the enough power to change everything and to do anything, but at the same time they want the world to pay solidarity with them because their grandfathers were killed 8 years ago during the Holocaust. But they deny their Holocaust and their crimes nowadays, and they deny anyone, or they refuse anyone to speak about this kind of crimes. And I am sure that you follow the news to see, for example, how the war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, attacked, for example, the French president yesterday because he said, President Macron said that what is happening in Gaza Strip is shameful. And they attacked Netherlands, actually the European countries, because the new or the current Israel doesn't accept any word of criticism. And actually, if you read the history, you will see how the countries planning, or the big powers planning their collapse by such these behaviors. In spite of our pain, and in spite of more than 53,000 of civilians who were killed in this genocide, in spite more than 120,000 wounded in this genocide, in spite than the missed people who actually under the rebels, more than 13,000, actually they were killed, but we cannot reach them to record them in our Ministry of Health as dead until now. In spite that they destroyed the universities, 13 universities and college universities in Gaza Strip, and destroyed more than 57% of schools in Gaza Strip. In spite that they displaced 2.2 million from 2.3, imagine, in Gaza Strip. In spite they're using the starvation as a weapon just to defeat our children and our women. In spite all this kind of crimes, the narrative of lies, I can assure you one thing. The occupation cannot guarantee its future by this kind of crimes, any occupation. And this actually a lesson that we learned it from all the free countries, all the free peoples like Zimbabwe, who defeated the apartheid regime that was established by Ian Smith as a twin apartheid regime of the Israeli apartheid, the current Israeli apartheid regime. And we learn also that the history cannot give sweet words to anyone because he's strong now. Later on, the historical or the scholars will write their narrative according to the facts. And the fact that will be written about Israel as the fact that you read it about nowadays about the South African apartheid regime and the Nazi regime and the other criminals who ruled or occupied and tortured other peoples and their peoples for many reasons. But the Israeli apartheid regime will be different and a huge story because their crimes actually is a combination of all the crimes that committed in any in all the occupiers and apartheid regime rulers. The solidarity is very important, and we highly appreciate the solidarity that we receive from everyone in the world. But also I want to mention, and this in specific, the solidarity that we receive from our comrades, sisters, and the brothers in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is not normal country for us. Zimbabwe is a twin country in our struggle that we were together since the Zimbabwean national movement was fighting against the apartheid regime in what's so-called South Rhodesia. And we are proud that we got great support and real solidarity from the leadership of Zimbabwe, led by His Excellency Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, with his colleagues in the leadership and the government, act by many means. We think the principles all the time can be translated in the ground in the hard times. And Zimbabwe passed the exam or the test of principles and the as a progressive country, while we see some countries failed in that everywhere. I want to thank all of you for your attendance today, and I am sorry because I spoke maybe too long. I know that it should be short messages, but I cannot ignore at least this event as opportunity to speak about the pain of my people and to speak in a proudly way about the Palestinian-Zimbabwe relation that reflected in many occasions, this occasion one of them. I thank you very much.